This woman went on a blind date photo shoot and a man accused her of catfishing. Turned out he was the one hat fishing.
My name is Paige. I'm from Adairsville and I'm feeling a little nervous, but I'm excited.
Jake from Kingston, and I'm nervous, but I'm pretty excited.
I think this was probably the funnest experience I've had in my life. I had a really good time. Chelsea did a great job. I think it went very well. I would 100% do it again.
The entire experience was absolutely wonderful. I got to see the photos as they were taking them, and they looked phenomenal. I think everything went really well. So they did a really good job.
My name is Paige. I'm from Adairsville.
So after this, even though he said that the photos were phenomenal and they did a really good job, he had a complaint because he's like, yo, what is this?
This is something that needs to be addressed, and I don't know how many more times I can take it, because this is the fifth time this has happened to me. I do not and will not ever appreciate anybody who catfishes anybody. And I'm going to explain in a minute what I mean. Like I said, there's 5 instances that I've been catfished, and I just want to take a moment and understand, like, you do realize that when you lie up to somebody about how you look, and whether it's that you're lying about your height, because I know men do that all the time. Oh, I'm like 6'3". You're like, just calm down. You're 5'9" on a good day. Let's chill out. Lying about your body, lying about your personality, lying about who you are. There's no way to cover that. When you go out and you do this, you have to understand the second I see who you are, it's over. Yesterday, I went on a stranger session thing, and I know how a stranger session works. If you don't know how it works, the photographer meets you up with somebody it's like a blind date. Now, this photographer asked what I wanted, and I gave her an AI photo that showed exactly what I wanted to a detail. Like, the AI photo I have, she's perfect. I'm like, she's not real.
Well, I'm glad you know she ain't real. I gotta get y'all the AI photo because sometimes people confuse AI with real life. There's a certain point where you gotta stop living in this fantasy and live in reality. That may be the person you see yourself with, but your reality say otherwise. He see himself with a blonde-haired, skinny, in-shape lady, and this is the lady that he got. To me, the lady in the AI and the lady in real life have some similarities. The biggest difference is weight. So I don't really understand why he upset about that when this is him without his hat on. He looked like Megamon. So I feel like he should have showed her some grace. Because this AI lady, you've been searching all your life for this AI version and she still ain't came your way. I feel like if you would have been nicer to Paige, you and her both could have went to the gym. Because it low-key look like you got titties underneath that shirt and the stomach. And that's if she want to do that. Paige is a real person. The AI photo is not. That lady in the AI photo didn't have a choice but to stand next to you and smile.
I was realistic. I'm not going to be sitting here and be like, oh, you better give me a damn supermodel or, a porn star or something like that. That's not who I am. It's not my type. I have a type. It's not that. Anyway, I gave her every detail that she could possibly need. And the girl that she picked, based on the photos that girl had presented to her, she was perfect. The photos that the photographer showed me at the very end of it, she's like, this is what she looked like. I'm like, if she had looked like that, that would have been perfect, dude. She had a great personality, and she was beautiful. She just was maybe 100 pounds heavier than her pictures were. And I wish I was joking. And that's not to sit here and be ugly. Like, I'm literally saying that there is a difference between that. How she looked and how she does not. Call me shallow. Call me whatever you want. I have a preference, and I'm not going to apologize for it. I'm going to spend the rest of my life with this person. I think I have every right to feel that level of attraction towards them.
Let's go down what we know. You have a right to want to be attracted to whoever you want to be attracted to. You have a right to have your standard. I think that that's great. But you've had these standards and you haven't met a woman that fit them. And I think a lot of times we are willing to go for physical appearance because that's what we attracted to. That's what we want. And then you get that person and their personality does not match with yours. That also has to be considered. I think that sometimes you can compromise a little bit. Like he might not have an 8-pack, but he got a 6-pack. You see what I'm saying? You might like long hair, but he got a fade. He might not be 6'1", but he not a little person either. You see what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like you've had these standards for a while and you've yet to meet that person for a reason. Whether that's your socio-economic class or whatever the case may be, it's just not happening for you. And then on top of that, I think that you need to go ahead and play in your ballpark because you also have a kid. You got to have somebody that want to mess with somebody that got a child and other responsibilities.
I'm sorry I don't find somebody who is plus size to be attracted to me. I don't find it to be. People call me shallow because I have a rule. I will not date you if you're wider than I am. I mean, I'm sorry. I don't want to come across as ugly, but I also have standards. How can I expect you to love me and take care of me if you can't even do that for yourself? The point is, catfishing will never work at all. And when I went to that stranger session and I walked into that into the building they stowed me away in, and I was waiting to come on the other side of the door and see this person for the first time, I'm like, you know what? It's going to be the greatest. Like, I pray to God this is my wife. The level of disappointment, and I know it was a blind date. I know what I was walking into. The level of disappointment whenever I saw her, I'm like, are you kidding me? I looked at the photographer, I'm like, she had no idea. It's not her fault. The photographer had nothing to do with it. But I looked at her, I'm like, come on. Really? After some time, I got to be by myself with the photographer, and she's like, I am so sorry. I'm like, you had no idea. Don't be sorry. But she catfished the photographer, she catfished me, she catfished everybody. I'm like, why?
How you get catfished on a blind date? That doesn't even make sense. A blind date is you don't see the person that you're going to be linking up with. Keyword blind, because you can't see. So I feel like you capping. You didn't like her because she was plus size, cool. You said she had a nice personality, great. You don't want a plus size woman, that's cool. Maybe you should start hooking up with people that go to the gym on a regular basis and are really into fitness. But I also think that you have to be aware that you too also have to be in fitness when you're messing with those people.
I understand that there's it's a blind date, so that you never know what to expect, but the lesson is this: just be yourself. If you're that desperate for someone to love you, wouldn't you want them to love you for who you actually are rather than what you could look like? Come on, like, it's not that hard. I want my person to love me for who I am, what I look like. If they don't like a certain part of me, then that's okay. That's their preference. Not everyone's going to love how the way I look. Nobody's going to be okay with the way I look, and that's fine. But we can't sit here and play these games and like, oh, he'll never notice that I'm 100 pounds heavier. Yes.
Like I said before, it's a blind date, so you didn't know what she looked like. And the photographer did come out and say that they did not share her photos with him. You stuck on that AI version of that woman smiling next to you and you think that that's reality. It's not. You are allowed to date whoever you want to date. You are allowed to have whatever preference you want to have. But I also think that you have to kind of have compromise in certain areas. You have to also understand that beauty changes with time. Like, somebody that's beautiful, they gonna be beautiful, but them wrinkles gonna come. The same way your sack gonna drop, so is her teeth. It's the reality, right? I could tell by the side of your head that you already losing your hair. That middle is gone. Only the sides is there, and you keep that shaved down. So I want you to get what you want, and I hope find somebody that's into you, that you get to your blonde, blue-eyed, skinny woman, and that she has a nice personality and she's able to fit into your life.
I will. Do better, Jesus Christ.
He wanted the photographer to find an exact match to her AI. This is the woman he wanted, y'all. Oh, goodness gracious. All right, so the Paige did respond.
Hey everyone, I wasn't going to respond to this, but I wanted to say thank you all for your kindness and your kind words. This experience reminded me that, our worth is not determined by someone else's opinion, someone else's approval, or even their ability to see our value. We're all much more than a comment section, a first impression, or even a single moment online. So instead of focusing on the negativity, I'm choosing to focus on the compassion that was showed. So thank you for defending someone you didn't even know. I really appreciate that. But I also wanted to take this opportunity to, tell everybody that, other people's opinion about you is irrelevant. Like, call me fat if you want to. I don't care. That's your opinion. You're entitled to it. If I wanted to look differently, I would do that. But you can't change the fact that you're ugly on the inside. So if you take anything from...
I mean, you really can't change the fact that you ugly on the outside too. I mean, plastic surgery helps. It'll correct some stuff. People be running the plastic surgery like that's gonna change their genetics. It ain't.
From this, let it be this. Be kind. You never know what someone's going through. You never know what someone's carrying. You never know the power your words have to change someone's day or even their life. Years ago, this would have broke me down and hurt my feelings, but I am confident who I am. I showed up that day just as I am, just as I'll show up anywhere else. So just know that regardless of what people think or feel about you, how you feel about yourself is what matters. So take this experience that I had as a reminder that everyone is beautiful in their own way. Do not let someone ruin your day for their opinion of how they feel.
I think some people be having delusional standards. You be seeing these IG models, but your bank account say somebody that work with you or somebody around your salary range. Cause the IG model come with bills that you can't afford. Her hair costs $500 to $1,000, and the men she be messing with pay for it. Yours say, I got $80 to get your hair, help you get your hair done type of money.
When they're just insecure about themselves. I didn't apply to be part of this photo shoot. The photographer reached out to me and I thought it would be fun. I get there, I didn't know what this guy looked like. I had fun. I was not attracted to him. I had no interest in him, but I did the photo shoot. It was a fun experience. I didn't give him my number. And I guess that made him mad. But
you rejected him. He made it seem like you was all up on him. You wanted to be with him, but you was like, pause. I don't even like you. You ain't getting my number. Pump your brakes, sir. This will be our first and our last time meeting. And he went ahead and made that 4-minute and 59-second video about you. My gosh.
I didn't wish to go any further. I was trying to be nice. I didn't choose to go to the internet and blast him for how he looked or how he was. So that's what happened, and that's my side. But anyways, I hope y'all have a wonderful day, and remember to always be kind.
Hey, Paige Marie, shout outs to you, ma'am. See, the feeling is mutual, Jacob. She didn't want you either. She didn't even say you had a nice personality. So the thing is this, you can't be ugly on the outside and ugly on the inside too. It don't work. It's I ain't even give him my number. That is what's up. Okay, so Jacob comes back and apologized. He did delete this, but somebody saved it. Shout outs to them.
I don't even know where to begin. Maybe I'm sorry would help. A good place to start, I guess. And I can already hear people saying, "Well, you're sorry because everything blew up. You're sorry because you were caught. You were sorry because you see the consequences of your actions." Yeah, there's a little motivation behind that, but it's mostly because I had a couple of days to think about it, and I was in the wrong. I'm trying to have accountability for myself. I'm trying to sit here and own up to what I did. I'm not just saying I'm sorry because everything's blowing up. I'm saying I'm sorry because it's the right thing to do. Paige didn't have anything to do with any of it. She was just a person who was put in my life for some reason. And in that stranger session, she handed me a handwritten note, and it said, with a deck of cards, and it said, "I don't know where life is going to take." I can't say it word for word. I don't have it anymore, but it's, I don't know where life is supposed to take us, but whatever hand that life hands you. Like I said, I don't remember word for word, but it's like, in the note, she was basically saying, like, maybe this is, we're supposed to meet each other for a reason, or something along those lines. I'm not entirely sure.
Sir, you just shouldn't have brought up the note at all. You don't have to be attracted to somebody. You and her maybe could have just been friends. There's a time in the season where you're going to meet people and you're going to have relationships, whether sometimes it's romantic and sometimes it's just platonic. And they're blessings to your life. Sometimes you have people come in your life to teach you certain lessons. And I think the biggest thing here is you don't have to be attracted to her. But you could have kept that to yourself. You didn't have to put it online because you said she had a nice personality. You weren't catfished because you did not see the photos. This was just by chance. The photographer reached out to her and she did him a favor because she thought it was going to be fun. Your soulmate may not be what you think they're going to be. You may meet somebody that you thought you was going to date, but that person just may not have ended up to be with you, but they end up connecting you to different people. You don't know. So it's just best that you learn how to manage your attitude.
Still trying to remember, but I feel guilty as hell for saying what I said. And at first I felt like I had to defend my actions, like I had to go and make a video about, like, oh, she catfished me. Like, hey, it's a stupid stranger session. What did you expect? And like I said, during the photo session, I was nice, I was respectful, I didn't say anything ugly or mean to her. Like, I just went about my day, but I had to go and make my video about it, and it bit me in the. I've reached out to Paige and I've apologized. And I've reached out to Chelsea, the photographer, and I've apologized. I've apologized to other people who I needed to apologize also, who aren't related to it, but happened in the past, and I needed to make amends. But unless I don't say any of this for anyone to forgive me. I don't say any of this for it to go away because they're like, oh, well, you're just saying this because your life's blowing up. No, I'm saying it because it's the right thing to do. Whether or not you believe me is not my problem. After looking at all the comments that people have made, all the pictures that people have made, people telling me to remove my hat, that I'm a hat fisher, which I still don't understand.
Okay, since you don't understand, I'm gonna explain it. Men that losing their hair are bald, or they have like a huge forehead, or they have a receding hairline or something like that, they wear a hat because the hat will cover all of that, and they keep that hat on, and it gives you the illusion that they finer than what they are, or they don't need to cut that crap that's already leaving them, or go to Turkey or Bosley to get the situation fixed. It gives you that illusion.
It's not a secret that I'm bald, but it's besides the point. The point is that I fucked up. I'm trying my very best to take over it, and I don't know why on earth things had to happen the way that it happened. I don't know why, because of what I said, that it got blown up to such a proportion when people say the more outrageous to each other all the time, but nothing gets said about that. And I'm not sitting here trying to play a victim. I'm not sitting here asking for pity. Like, I'm taking ownership of what I did. I f***ed up. All I can do is say I'm sorry.
Okay.
Paige didn't deserve that whatsoever. And I said, and I'm not going to make excuses. I'm literally not trying to make any excuses whatsoever. But the reason I did what I did and said what I said is because I'm very insecure. I'm very, very bitter. I hold a lot of anger. I hold a lot of resentment. I hold a lot of trauma. I mean, I've been through it. What people don't see.
Then you don't need to be in the dating market, sir. You need to be on somebody's couch, or you need to go get you a journal and start journaling and working on yourself. You don't need to be going to find your better half because you broken. Your cup half empty. She can't fix you. Work through your trauma. Love on your child. Fix what you need to fix, and then hop back in the dating market. And hop back in the dating market with an open mind. I'm not telling you to go get somebody that's on my 600-pound life. I'm not telling you to do that because they already taken. Most of them got boyfriends and girlfriends. And then maybe along the way, while you're working on you and you're taking these steps forward and you're addressing what you need to address, you find somebody you fall in love in the process.
See is the I've been through in my life, and it hasn't been dealt with properly.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not an excuse. Like, hear me, it's not an excuse. I'm not trying to make excuses. I'm trying to own up to what I did. I'm trying to say I'm sorry. I'm trying to make things better. And I don't
No, you brought up your villain origin story so you can use it as an excuse. My grandma died. That's why my grandma, she died, and you was too busy at work, and that's why I was talking to Mary Ann down the street, because she had time for me. I didn't mean it. Go ahead, bro.
expect anyone to forgive me. I don't expect anything to happen out of this. I don't expect a thing. Ever since this has happened, I've received death threats. I've received people telling me that I'm a horrible father, and they're not wrong. And I've received messages telling me to go unalive myself. And
Pause. I always say this. I do not agree with people getting death threats. But what do you mean they're right that you're a horrible father? Yeah, you don't need to be in dating market as a mother or a father. You should take pride in being an amazing dad, amazing father. You may have had been a crappy boyfriend or a crappy husband, but you should always show it for your child and loving on them. And if you not doing that, you don't need to be in the dating market. You need to be over there establishing a relationship with your child where they can call you and want to love on you. That's what you got to fix first. Forget trying to find your soulmate.
Ever since I've tried 3 times in the past, not recently, but just in general, that hurts a little bit deeper than it should. And I'm not saying any of this for you to take pity on me. I'm not saying any of this to make you feel sorry for me. Like, I'm trying to understand why I'm receiving such a harsh punishment for what I did when things have... I mean, I'm not going to sit in and say, like, it wasn't no big deal. I just said some words. Like, I hurt somebody, and it hurt somebody's feelings, and that's a big deal. I just don't think a death threat is something that you should bring upon somebody because they said something. To me, that's kind of outrageous. And now I have to protect myself and my family and my kids because of what I said.
Oh, you said
like,
plural. You said plural. When I had read the comments, I thought that you had a daughter. You said your kid. Oh, no, sir. No, nuh-uh. You don't need to be dating. You don't need to be dating. Your time is filled with homework, trips to the park, etc. No, you don't even be dating. Kids, that's plural. You ain't got enough time on your hands to be a man available in the dating market. And you out here having these high standards. That girl in that AI photo, she ain't got no kids. She most definitely ain't about to be playing stepmammy to yours. Nah, I already knew the bank account was a bank. The bar's in hell. That's why you having such a hard time. I think that a lot of men think that they can just have multiple kids and they're going to have a whole bunch of women that's going to be pounding down their door to date them, and that ain't the case. Got a lot of women that don't want to deal with the baby mama drama.
The video that I made was going to go to that extreme. I feel like that's a little too much, if you ask me. Sure, the memes, the pictures, the hateful comments, okay, I deserve that. But I don't feel like my family or me deserves stuff like that.
I agree. Kids most definitely should not be getting brought up into this at all. They don't have nothing to do with your dating life because they're innocent. I'm talking about you. It is what it is because you put yourself out there and you made that video and people are going to comment on it. But I ain't like the horrible dad comment, but you go and you be an amazing father to your kids and you build a relationship with them and you focus on working through your trauma. And once you get that stuff done, you may find you somebody that's going to love you in your mega mind. One of the questions I got for you, seeing that you have kids, do you date people with kids? I'm leaning towards this a no, because you have some men that get on the dating market and they don't want to date women with kids. Apparently rejection hasn't made him lose his effing audacity.
The men are out here ruining it for the genuine guys who want something serious. And what's honestly sad is that they keep on doing it because at one point it worked. When did we as a society accept that kind of behavior? Why are we just allowing this to be the norm? What happened to dating like we were, like our grandparents were? And in this particular instance, the video that you...
Be perfectly clear, and I want y'all to really stop doing this. When you talk about dating the way your grandparents dated, the way society was set up when our grandparents were dating, depending on how old your grandparent is. My grandmother was born in like 1927. So that's what I'm going off of. Modern women, or whatever you would like to call us, we have more rights than our grandmothers. And so when you look at stuff like that, they dated and they married and they tried to keep their marriages and their families together. together crucial for their survival. But if they had the rights that we had, they probably would not be in those relationships, because some of those relationships were very abusive, whether it was physically, financially, or emotional. And men were able to move however they wanted to move. So your husband could cheat on you. He have a whole nother family across town, and you couldn't really leave him because you was dependent on him for his check, and you was probably working them too. But it used to be a time where you had to have your husband or a man's name on your bank account. So you have to look at that. And so a lot of times, because we don't have to put up with your bad behavior anymore, you actually have to be a decent person. Based on the car seats that's in your car, you don't need to be dating. You got a rear-facing car seat and you got a front-facing car seat. That rear-facing car seat, your child is either an infant or a toddler. You need to focus on your kids. Why you ain't with their mama? Ain't none of my business. You need to focus on your kids. You have young kids. That's telling me all I need to know.
Just watched is a page that I made dedicated to my future wife. It is, without a doubt, the only thing that is going to be done on that page is me showing up daily and making a video, praying for her, talking to her, whatever. It's going to be mostly praying for her. Is a man not allowed to go in there and just, order whatever he wants, drink whatever he wants without anybody having anything to say about it? I mean, I don't think it's too much to ask for, but holy... Well, that guy's just... Well, maybe he is what he eats. Give the guy a break. Holy shit. In case you don't know, I'm real big on mind your own business.
Now you try. First get a jar. Patrick, that's a gun.
Told y'all. Y'all see this? Sides missing. Middle gone. Leave him alone. One of his exes. Her short experience with Jacob Huff.
I am so glad Jake the Hatfish finally exposed himself online. Finally. I have a little story time of how I kind of know Jake. Back in early 2025, I was online dating and I matched with Jake on Hinge. He actually sent a like to me first and wrote out this long message. Like, it was very sweet. He complimented me. He found things in my profile to, talk to me about. Usually people don't put that much effort into a message. So of course I was like, I'll give this guy a shot, because I'm like, Jake, I wasn't really that concerned with looks. I was more into finding a good Christian man who was stable, who was like future focused. So I gave Jake a shot, even though he wasn't my type. After a few messages, he asked for my number and I said, sure, no problem. Here you go. He texted me and then immediately sent a screen recording of him deleting Hinge and all of the other dating apps off of his phone and said, since we're talking, I only want to talk and commit to getting to know you right now. And at first I was like thinking, like, this is intense. This is online dating. We've only exchanged a few messages back and forth and he's already wanting to commit to me when we don't even know each other. And I was like, maybe he's just really intentional with dating. Like, I kept trying to justify.
If y'all had been on a couple of dates and you was feeling him just as much as he was feeling you, I can understand him saying, I am focusing on you at this particular point, if you felt like the relationship was progressing. But him just doing that right away, I think that he moving quick.
His behavior as normal. So I'm like, okay, maybe he's just intentional with dating, and if he wants to do that, he can. So, and I just basically responded and said, thanks for telling me, but it's online dating. I'm going to continue to explore connections, but I would love to get to know you. And he was fine with that. We started to get to know each other more over the next couple of days. And he would tell me things about his ex-wife because I had asked about his children. He was open about having children, and he showed me pictures of his ex-wife. And since he likes to talk about things in 100-pound increments, right? She was like about 100 pounds lighter than him. And he told me how physically abusive she was to him. And this is nothing that he has not spoken about online, so I'm not exposing anything. And he just talked horrible about her. Just bashed her. And that's red flag number 2, because anytime you're talking bad about the mother of your children, I have a pause, because I think you're just projecting that you actually were the one in the wrong. But again, I was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, and I was like, maybe he should.
Men can be in abusive relationships. If that is true, Jacob, I am glad that you left that abusive relationship, and I hope that you go get the help that you need, because I tell women all the time, and I'm gonna say it to men, you are nobody's punching bag. And a lot of y'all gonna say, oh, man, you joke, I'm dead serious. You are nobody's punching bag, whether you be a man or a woman. You should not be allowing somebody you're in a romantic relationship with to be putting their hands on you in a violent way, because you deserve better.
Just trying to be super open. I'll keep talking to him. The texting quickly turned into him calling me all the time. He works, I don't remember if it was second or third shift. He's like a a fighter jet mechanic. So he would call me during every break that he knew that I was awake, because I just worked like a normal 9-to-5 job. So he'd call me on like 6 p.m. break, and then a 9 p.m. break, and then he'd call me like 3 p.m. on the way to work. Maybe it was final shift, whatever, third shift. I don't know. But I was like, thought it was like, okay, that's kind of nice. He's trying to get to know me when he can. Like, I know he's a dad, he works full time. Like, I was like, this is nice. But it just became intense within a couple of days. And the week we started talking, the next weekend was the Super Bowl, and he was telling me, oh, I want to have a Super Bowl party at my house, and I'm going to invite all my coworkers. And then, like, I talked to him a few hours later, and he's like, I invited everyone, and no one's going to come. Like, I just try so hard to have friends. I try so hard to be a good guy, and just nobody reciprocates it. And I'm just like, if you were really a good guy, you would freaking have friends to come to your Super Bowl.
He might just be socially awkward. Guys have spoken on, like, how hard it is for them to, like, form friendships and things of that nature. So maybe join, like, a run club or something that you're interested in. Go to like a car club or something like that, where you can establish friendships or whatever for me and dude to have fun, and you can develop relationships with that. Maybe if one of your other co-workers had it, go to their Super Bowl party, or maybe spend some time with family. But he said his ex-wife, so he may have lost some relationships in his divorce or whatever that may be, especially if it ended on bad terms with his wife.
Party, like, it just started to make me feel weird, and it was intense. The amount of texting, the amount of just how much he tried to be the good guy. I remember him asking me on one conversation, like, what are some chores that you don't like? And I was like, oh, I really hate doing and folding laundry. And he was like, when we're together, I will do all of the laundry because you are the woman. I should be waiting on you hand and foot. Oh, you don't like to cook? What's your favorite meal? I'll cook you my favorite meal. Like, just basically parroting everything you would think you would want somebody to say, which is usually not normal, and it's not healthy, right? Okay, so the final thing for me that I was like, this guy's just too much. He had been trying to also plan a date for us, and this was going to be like a 5-hour date. He wanted to go to like dinner and mini golf and ice cream, and like for a first date, that's intense. I don't want to give you 5 hours of my day on a first date. I don't know you. Like, I'm more like, let's go grab coffee, or like, let's go meet some.
I mean, mini golf and then dinner, I feel like that's dope if it's going well. You just a coffee date person, I feel like you could have ended the relationship quicker and just been like, hey, I'm not into you. And you weren't into him from the beginning because you said he's not your type. So if you know he's not your type and you're really not feeling this person, it doesn't matter what they do. It's just you don't like them, and that's okay. You should just cut your loss and let them go on about their day.
Republican, just walk around and talk. Like, it can be super simple. So I was already feeling turned off by that. I had an appointment to go get my hair done, and he was like, oh, please send me a picture when you get your hair done. Like, I just want to see how beautiful you look. And I'm like, okay, sure, whatever. I'll take an ego boost and send you a photo, right? So I sent him a photo, and he was just like, God, you're just so beautiful. You are just way out of my league. I'm such a loser compared to you. I don't know what you're even doing talking to me. And it's like, what? The lack of confidence.
He sounds like he has one of those kinks.
In the victim, and it was just all too much. It was so much red flag. So by this point, I already just decided that the next day I was going to cut it off and tell him I'm not going on that date Saturday, and this was Thursday. I go to dinner with my friend after getting my hair cut. I come out of dinner, and I have a text from a friend who's single and also dating, and I'll put the screenshots here. She basically said, how do you know this guy, Jake? Because he had added me on Facebook, he added me on all social media, and I was like, you can see the message, we've been talking on social media, and it sounds like it's past tense.
Laugh out loud. Is he nice? He I have matched with him on Hinge, and we were talking, but he got really intense fast. I don't know, give it a try if you want. He's nice, but it just got weird for me. Oh yeah, no thanks, I don't like that. Going on date number 2 with Tyler tonight. Yeah, wanted to text all day every day, called me a lot. It was too much, and we hadn't even met. Okay, so Jacob, or he's 6'1", that's classified Lockhart Martin. He has kids, high school diploma, drinks occasionally, is a Christian, English is his language, from Atlanta, Georgia, and lives in Illinois.
I had still technically been talking to him at this point, and this is the guy that told me he deleted all of his dating apps to speak to me. So I immediately sent him all of that, and I was like, I don't know why you make this effort to make it sound like you only want to talk to one girl at one time, and you're clearly still on the dating apps, which is fine, but the lying about it and trying to act like you're a certain kind of gentleman and you only talk to one girl, like, it's too much. Like, I do not want to go out with you, blah blah blah. He flipped out on me, blocked me, whatever. Fine, cool, moving on with my life. I Was scrolling TikTok a few months later, and he came up on my For You page because he has a TikTok with like, I don't know, 10, 20, 30,000 followers, where he just talks about his boo-hoo woes of dating, how women don't like him and how he's such a gentleman, how he wants to do all these nice things, and he likes to like yell at the camera and like lecture like, if you're not fully healed, you shouldn't be dating. I'm healed. I'm going to do all these things. I'm going to be the best partner. And if you're not ready, you shouldn't be out there because you're wasting my time. I put so much into me. I have so much to give. He's just like always angry at the camera. And I saw it and I was like, what on earth? So I go and binge his page. And at that time, he was talking to like another girl, I think, that he had met online, and he was like posting her like, oh, I can't wait to meet this beautiful girl. And I had a couple glasses of wine. I'm sober now, but I had a couple glasses of wine, and I was like, I'm just gonna leave a comment. And I said something like, oh, I'm glad you found somebody, but just to give you some feedback from when we were talking, I think you get a little bit intense with people quick, and you know, maybe just calm it down. Maybe I shouldn't have commented that. Maybe the wine shouldn't have talked, but he basically went off of me saying, I'm just upset because I lost the best thing that I could have ever had, and how I was just going to be like a sorry loser alone forever, which is just funny because a couple months after that, I met my now.
Well, congratulations, man. He is who he is. If you have moved on, you don't need to offer him constant feedback. He's not the man for you. If he had asked you for feedback and if you felt like entertaining the idea of giving him an explanation, cool. But you was like, no, you're not for me. You should have blocked him and moved on with your life. After he went off on you the first time, y'all had nothing else to discuss.
I think the problem. It was just a total turn off. And so after all of that, I'm like, this guy clearly is mentally ill. Maybe he's a narcissist. Maybe he's actually one abusive. I don't know. And then just to see this whole story go viral about him being the biggest, like, you're like the biggest contradiction. You literally go on your freaking page and talk about how much of a Southern gentleman you are and how you just want to be a husband and you want to be the best partner and you want to do all these things and wait on this woman hand and foot and all these things. If that were true, looks wouldn't even matter to begin with, because I wasn't looking for somebody that was the most attractive person. I was just looking for someone that had a good heart and we had the same morals and values, right? So to get on
looks matter. You should have somebody that you are physically attracted to
online and then body shame a woman and talk nastily about her because she rejected you. Because if you watch all the content, she said he asked for her number and she pretty much said, no, thank you, I'm not interested. So then you turn to the internet, to your followers of women who are under some spell that think you're this big gentleman that you're actually not, just to sit there and comment and validate you. And it flipped and you're getting what you deserve. And I just wanted to share my experience and my story because I don't know, I can't diagnose someone. I don't know the whole history of this guy, but he gave me a seriously uncomfortable gut feeling and the red flags were going. I only talked to him for about a week. I shouldn't have let it go on as long as I did, definitely. But I think all women just need to be wary of this guy until he gets help. I hope no woman goes on a date with him. And I hope all of this was a big, huge lesson for him. And to the beautiful girl, I believe her name was Paige, you're going to find a really, really amazing guy because this guy's a loser.
Hey man, I hope it works out for you, Paige. He was never shown pictures of her before the session. He had no idea what she looked like until they opened the doors to see each other. The only information shared with one another is the things that go on the questionnaire, like hobbies and music tastes, etc. I hope both of them find the loves of their lives if that's what they want to do. As always, remember that you're fearfully and wonderfully made. Stay blessed.